Jeez. All right, so let's see if you guys can see me, hear me. Let my screen come up. Make sure we all got things going on, and mute is on. Let's see if I still can't see me. Can y'all see me? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, can anybody? Krista J says 5x5. Okay, here comes my screen. Jennifer 555, Finley, Jacob. Okay. All right. Yeah, there was a big delay in that one. Yeah, we're having somebody commented in here in the videos the other yesterday. I guess it will. I guess it's not just me, but I don't know what the hell happened with Google lately. Besides trying to shut down, or not trying, but shutting down Truth Social for Trump, can no longer get it at the Google Play Store. So they just, Google's still silencing Trump. But yeah, it's been interesting. It's taking a couple hours to upload videos. Forget about Google Drive. I'll give you this one. The video I put up this afternoon with that 1943 clip in it is still trying to upload from my phone to Google Drive so I can go to my video editor and put it in there. And this has been going on for a week. I wound up having to backdoor a whole bunch of stuff to get that video put together. Just crazy stuff. But yeah, so we know what's going on. They are silencing the conservative voice, and I mean, it's certainly that there's no question which side of the fence I'm on. Okay, watch any of my videos, and if you ever see me say, gee, the liberals did a good thing, it's very, very few and far between, because pretty much every single problem that this country has ever had all goes back, if you trace it all the way back, it's from a liberal policy. So every single problem. Name one that is not. Oh, I don't know. Take God out of the schools, take God out of society. Oh, I don't know. Could it be closing mental health hospitals? That gender confusion thing. I mean, pick one. The economy, the destruction of the nuclear family. Gee, I wonder what all this has in common. All the problems we have right now are square on the shoulders of liberals, period. And if you're a liberal, I'm sorry, own up to it. You're wrong. That's it. So, all right. Well, first off, I want to give everybody an update. We can thank Mrs. P. We are almost halfway through putting all the seeds in the envelopes from the first batch I picked up. I have not been to the post office since I showed you that pile, so if there's more there, we got more. Mrs. P couldn't sleep last night, so at 3 o'clock in the morning, she came downstairs and she was packing tomato seeds into that group, the cherry tomatoes in there. So we've got the sunflowers, the okra, the cherry tomatoes. There's something else that's done. Oh, the radishes are done. But yeah, that's primarily Mrs. P. She's been stuffing envelopes like crazy. So, but yes. So, you'd think it was Thursday or Friday today, wouldn't you? With the amount of news that's coming out. And I'll tell you this, I spent a good portion of my day trying to keep up with everything that's crazy that's going on. And I mean, if I could have feasibly done it, if I wanted to, if there was some humanly way I could have, I probably could have made 10 videos today. Okay. But, fortunately, between the whole community, everybody is covering different things, which was good. Besides the fact that Mikhail Gorbachev died today, not that that's really prepper oriented, okay, but I mean, so it wouldn't really make a prepper video. But you go through some of the stories that were coming out today. The food plant fire, another poultry plant miraculously caught on fire in California. Steve Poplar over at Poplar Preparedness covered that one. How about the Vatican? The Pope saying they are going to repatriate all the Vatican money to the Vatican by the end of the month, or end of September. Now, I talked about this a few days ago when it was mentioned. Now it's become doctrine, but Patera over at Appalachia's Homestead, she covered that one. Okay. How about the food banks being out of food? Rudy, Alaska Prepper, covered that one. Okay. Then you get some of the other interesting ones, the more political bent ones that I have a tendency to wind up on. Did you guys catch California, it has a bill up right now that they are going to allow the government to determine what fast food restaurants pay their employees. That's communism, guys. That's flat out communism when the government dictates how a private business has to conduct business. Just telling you, okay? How about the greatest deal today? Let's go into money. Biden announced today that he is putting a request into Congress for us to send $1.1 billion worth of military equipment to Taiwan. Let's piss off the Chinese, start a war. Oh, but if 1.1 billion isn't enough, we just gave Ukraine $3 billion the other day. But of course, the government announced that they can't afford to do free CV testing for people anymore. But we can give $3 billion to Ukraine at the same time. Okay. In the afternoon video, I talked about Joe giving a primetime address a couple of days from now. Anybody catch the speeches he made in Pennsylvania today? It's funny, Joe never seems to go further west than Pennsylvania, okay? I don't think he's probably not allowed to get that far away from home. You remember when you were a kid, mom wouldn't let you cross the street? That's pretty much what Jill does with Joe. You're not allowed to go past Philadelphia. Okay. Joe apparently went off the teleprompter a little bit today. If he didn't go off the teleprompter, then whoever's writing his speeches is just an utter moron. Well, no, I take that back. They are an utter moron. They work for Joe. But here's some highlights. Joe saying today that the Republicans in Congress are arguing that political violence is necessary and appropriate. Please tell me one congressman, one senator who is telling people to go out and conduct violence. You can't. Joe, that's a lie. Okay? Another one of his great comments today. There's a mass shooting every single day in this country. That's a quote. Okay. Yeah. No, Joe, sorry, that ain't true either. Okay. Maybe how you figure out days in that warped mind of yours, that's a possibility. Or this was the best one. Quote again. Right-wing Americans who support the Second Amendment are shooting at law enforcement. Please tell me the story of any conservative who's shooting at the cops. I can tell you plenty of stories about liberals shooting at cops. I can't seem to find one about a conservative there, Joe. Yeah. Today could have been an easy 10 to 12 video day if people wanted to. There was enough on there to keep everybody busy for the entire day. But yeah, crazy as it is. But like I was saying, guys, they are going to throw the baby out with the bathwater between now and the election and try to accuse the GOP about everything that they are doing. The projectionism is at 11. I mean, it's at 14, I guess. It doesn't matter. It's crazy what they're doing. Keep your head on a swivel. Get ready, because something's going to blow real quick. And like I've said many times, all it takes is one shot and everything's off. Everything's over. Like I said today, I agree with Lindsey Graham. Try to indict Trump and we're done. I mean, this country's toast. There's no question about that, okay? We need to split up into 2, 3, 4, 5 different countries. It's beyond time. We are no longer united at all, okay? There's no going back. The only way we go back to the United States is if we do a purge of everybody on the left and get back to the principles that made this country what it is in the first place, and get rid of all the socialist, communist, liberal, progressive, whatever the hell you want to call them. I mean, Democrats, the moderate Democrats, they're not insane. But the rest of these, they've completely lost their freaking minds. All right. There's my rant to start the night. So, okay. So we'll get into everything. First, I want to say Thank you to everybody for showing up, but especially my moderators, Mammy, Lucky Dame, Lorna, Jacob, Cat Lady Life, Robert, and North Shore. Thank you for taking time out of your Tuesday night to keep the riffraff out of here, throw out the trash, and do that. So if you all noticed, after Saturday night's live stream, I did put the 2-minute on here, and I think I'm going to go back and change it because we don't have 3,000 people in here like we did on Saturday night. So I'm going to back this down to just a 1-minute delay. So mods, I apologize if it's going to be a little faster, but I want to be able to get as many questions in as I can. So we'll flip that one back over there. So back down to 1 minute so we can chat. So, all right, so let's get into Q&A. As per normal, please, everything directed to me in all caps. It's the only way I can see what's going on. Helps me run through it real quick. Please keep it polite. Please keep it PG-13. Please treat your fellow family members here with respect, okay? If anybody's going to be a pain in the ass, the mods will clean house quickly, so. All right, let's get into questions, and I'm going to scroll up to the top here real quick and see what we got. All right, so Jay Myers, the Pinball Seed Company. If I knew that I was going to get this kind of response, I'd have changed it up a little bit because Mrs. P and I were talking. I mean, it took us 2 days to open all the envelopes and then sort all the envelopes into this envelope's for radishes, green peppers, jalapenos, whatever it would be. And I told Mrs. P, I said, I don't have the seeds to do this. Now, fortunately, the only one that I know we are not going to be able to give seeds to everybody is the Japanese cucumbers. I got some Japanese cucumbers, but I mean, there's 300 envelopes over there. So if you've asked for Japanese cucumbers, if you get them, you're one of the few. I'm sorry, that's it, because if I'm lucky, I've got 300 seeds. That's about it. So, and I want to give everybody at least a few, so in case a plant doesn't work. So I apologize to some people on that, but everything else so far, we look like we've got enough seeds. Some we can be more generous than others, like okra and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, there's 30 seeds in each package, or like the cherry tomatoes, there's probably 20 of those. Some of the seeds are not going to be as many because I just don't have as many seeds, so I'm trying to split them. I'm not counting all the seeds and going, okay, everybody gets it. It's like, all right, I'm eyeballing, going, okay, here's the pile, here's the amount of seeds, how much? So, but yeah, so, yeah, no, there's no pinball seed company. This is a lot of freaking work, guys. Harbor Prepper, thank you for the super chat. Did I hear Governor Hopeless in New York signed a bill requiring a license to buy or transfer any semi-automatic long guns starting on September 4th? Birthday. Except there's no process in place to issue the permits. What a rocket science. Yeah, Kathy Hochul is, nobody's ever accused her of being intelligent, okay? It's like saying the other day, it's like, oh, if you're a Republican, you need to go to Florida. That's a good way to piss off 50% of the people that are in your state, because yeah, the only reason that you're in office is because of New York City. The rest of New York is pretty damn conservative. Okay. There just happen to be too many people in New York City. Hopefully we'll get rid of that problem soon. Let all the conservatives move to Florida. Let all the liberals fall off the George Washington Bridge. That would be the best case scenario. But no, I haven't heard that. I do know, if you guys haven't, there's a House bill up where literally the left is trying to get rid of this isn't anything that's been even talked about. Trying to get rid of everything that's basically not a bolt action rifle or a revolver. That's it. That's, or a couple. There's some shotguns, but I mean, if you can put more than 5 in the tube, they want to get rid of that too. I mean, it's like literally they are trying to put a bill up where we're all stuck, muskets, and that's it. And again, this all goes back, guys. Remember, the only way the U.S. ever falls to the globalists is if they disarm us. I said to Mrs. P, if we're sitting out, and we were sitting out on the porch with the dogs today, I said, when they come in and say that weapons are illegal, then call me a criminal. I'll just add another word to my 11-mile long business card. I don't care, because they ain't getting them. All right, so let's keep on going. Robin Robinson, what do I think about the Vatican calling its finances to the banks? I talked about that a week or so ago when it was announced. Again, you got to remember, this Pope is a globalist communist. Okay, I mean, most Catholics will tell you this Pope is a disgrace, and he is all politician and no man of God whatsoever. But yeah, he's protecting his own ass is the only way to put it. Because hey, in the new world, we need to have a religious leader, and that will be me. That's his idea. Okay, yeah. If you think the Pope gives a crap about Catholics, you're wrong. Scroll. This is a bunch of hellos. Let's see. Frank Drebin, pinball. My problem is I have a body of an 80-year-old with a brain stuck at 16. Advice. Well, I'm kind of little, probably body of 56-year-old, brain stuck around 35. I don't know. No, I don't know. I can't say that because I've learned a lot in my years. Yeah. Yeah. The wants to do still think I'm 20, but the thinking part of my brain, that's different. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have any advice for you on that one. Okay. Oh, did you guys catch this one? I forgot this one. Tom Wolf, governor of Pennsylvania, proposed today that the government send another $2,000 stimulus check, an inflation stimulus check. There's another rocket scientist. What do you think got us in this problem in the first place, dumbass? It's like, are you kidding me? Hey, let's just print more money. Let's see. Yeah, Garden Matic 81. Government can't even fill the food pantries for the poor. That's the thing. They don't want to. Remember, those are useless eaters to them. Okay? They want depopulation. Hey, let's get rid of these people. No problem. If they starve to death, who cares? That's the mentality of the government, guys. Nobody will say that, but that's truly what's going on. If you think about the logical progression of a lot of this stuff, that's exactly what they're doing. They're making it so people starve. They are trying to starve us out. Yeah, there you go. Mama Preps, we don't want Joe. I'm assuming that's out west anyways. Yeah, well, I mean, I wish Joe would go east. Go from Delaware and go about 200 miles east and open your mouth and give a speech and just keep talking, Joe. Eventually your lungs will fill with water if you haven't got my point. Susan Lathrop, we don't want him in Pennsylvania. Take him back. Put him in a body bag. That would be better. I'm sorry. I'm pissy today. Francine Ryder, did anyone see a tractor trailer lost 300,000 tomatoes in California? Where was the local Antifa? They were probably out there with spike strips. George Soros probably said, take out tomato trucks, guys. We'll pay you $20 to do it. Yeah. Lorna, subscribe to my backup channel. Might be a good idea. God. Rooster, pinball can't, or potato, I can understand. Potato can't understand the difference in the time change. Extremely confusing. Yeah, he can't understand the difference of the time change from, 1900 to 2000. That one still confuses him. Let's see. War Fox. I'll stand with the Republic of Texas. There you go. If I had a guess, I would bet that Texas would probably include Oklahoma, and I know Texas OU and all this sort of. I lived down there for long enough. Many Red River shootouts, but yeah, but people in Oklahoma, people in Texas, cut from the same cloth. That those two would probably stick together. Then you'd probably have all the planes uh, that would travel over into Montana, Idaho, and then you'd have the Southeast as a third one. I mean, that literally, if I was drawing a map for the way the countries would be, that would be it. You'd have three conservative countries and probably three shitholes. So, let's see. Do. Big Dog Ma, love our mods. Did Mrs. P just pop a beer? She should. I'm telling you, she worked her butt off today. John M. Thompson, purge seems a bit much. Nah. You know, let's see. It's the only way to get the country back, I'm thinking. You know, I mean, send them all to Cuba. Send them all to North Korea. Send them all to China. They want to live in a communist state. There's ones out there that they can go to. Trust me, they need extra workers over there. John Fortwangler, can we send them all across the border and get our country back? I don't want to punish the Mexicans, okay? The Mexicans are good people, all right? We don't need to punish them by sending them all our trash. We just shot to the bottom, so back to the top. Silver Possum, any tips on growing hops? I'm an 8B. I have never tried to grow hops, so I have no idea. Wouldn't be a bad thing. You have a nice little cottage industry, your own little Silver Possum ale. So, yeah. If I had more space, maybe one day I'll start growing my own malt and barley and everything like that and make my own beer. But yeah, I don't see that one happening in my future. It's a lot of space for something that's not a necessity. Let's see. I know some people say, yes, it's a necessity. It sure might be. Gucci the Welder, Jackson, Mississippi is having the worst flood since 79. I was watching Danny in Deep South Homestead and his, I watched the video the other day too when it was pouring rain. They were showing what happened to their pond, but he said today they got 7 inches of rain in an hour and a half. You know, paging Mr. Noah. Yeah, that's some insane rain. And, do you notice how weird this is? We're talking about droughts and floods at the same time. That's not normal. So that means it's one of two things. Either the grand solar minimum is real, like we've all talked about, or somebody's messing with the weather, which we've all talked about. Okay. Climate change doesn't cause rain and droughts like that. Okay, not both. Climate change just doesn't exist anyway. Michaela Camberos, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that. Grammy Lauren, Pinball, I want to grow square pumpkins. Do you know how? Actually, it's not difficult. You're planting your regular pumpkins, and then what you need to do is plant them in, or put the pumpkin in a box, make the box out of wood or whatever it is, have the stem come through a hole in the top, put the pumpkin in there. You got to start you've got to get your top of your box on the stem before the pumpkin is more than a pea size, so you can get it through a hole. But you want to make a good inch plus wide hole. And you put the box around it. As the pumpkin grows in there, it will come up against the wall and stop, and you will get square pumpkins. Do that with watermelons or anything like that too. Yes. Smoking Swamp Outdoors. Hey, Pinball, getting a rooster and 3 hens in a few days. Any tips and suggestions on raising chickens? I am not the person to ask. I have never raised chickens in my life. I do not have any livestock. So, again, I'm not going to try to fake it till I make it. I I not the right guy to ask that question. Debbie Nugent, any advice on amount of money to leave in the bank or in investments? Okay, every time this question comes up and I answer it, people sit there and call for my head. All right. My suggestion is 3 months worth of all of your bills in cash in your house. Okay. And I know there's a whole bunch of people, was it 62% of the American public lives paycheck to paycheck? I understand that's difficult. We are not 62% of the public. We are 1% of the public. All right. We do things differently. We do things correctly. Okay. Even if you can only put $10 a paycheck or whatever it is, just like buying your food or whatever it is, cash is another prep. Hey, I can buy $10 worth of food, and after a couple of months, you go, damn, I got some food in here. Same thing. $10 a week. Put $10 a week into an envelope or your safe or whatever it is, and it'll add up, and all of a sudden you go, there's a couple of $1,000s in here. I can pay my bills with this. That's what you need to be doing. Okay. It's, again, y'all know I'm a big believer in a lot of what Dave Ramsey says. Not everything, but I do like his debt strategy, the envelope system and things like that. You just make another envelope that says rainy day fund, and you put that in there. Ham Fox, for every illegal that comes north of the border, we send a progressive south. We need to send a lot more than that. Okay. 81 million need to be kicked out of the country. Let's see. New England Prepper 23. Yay, my birthday live stream. Thanks for everything you do. Happy birthday. If you're 23, there you go. Happy birthday. Let's see. Danielle Murray Fitness. Can I store small and large propane tanks in various plastic totes and plant them around the property? I know a large metal propane cage would be best, but that's a lot to spend all at once. Are you talking about burying them? I wouldn't do that, because then you're going to be, I see what you're saying about putting them in plastic totes. You can leave the propane tanks outside. Think about your propane tank that your barbecue grill's on, all right? You don't bring that in every time after you barbecue. If you do, you don't have to, okay? It's fine out in the weather, do whatever. If you're worried about them being stolen, get some chain and chain them to a tree, okay? I wouldn't suggest burying them even in the plastic totes, because if the plastic tote cracks, you're going to get water in there, then the water's going to stay in there, they're going to rust, etc., etc. You don't want them sitting in anything. You certainly don't want them sitting in the ground. They're not made to be buried. Janet Nice, we sell a beer called Pinball. So tempted. Where in the hell did you find a beer called Pinball? I've never seen that. Sweet Leaf, Pinball, which video was the meet and greet? Thinking of coming down from Canada. It was called, hang on, I'll go look at it real quick. Well, real quick is the speed of YouTube here. Let's see, it was August 24th. It's called October Get Together, and Elliot does it again. So, but it was August 24th. If you just type in October Get Together, you're going to find it. Never too old to learn. Pinball, how do you cure sweet potatoes? Just like regular potatoes, you're just going to get them out of the ground, do not wash them, and then set them on a tarp, a table, whatever it is, in a cool, dry area. Your kitchen table's fine, okay? And just let them cure for a couple of weeks there. You don't, depending on what you're going to do with them, you don't have to do that. I'll take mine as fast as I can the day if you do it the day you get them, that's the reason you're curing is you're trying to get that skin on it, on a potato, on a sweet potato, to harden up, okay? Because y'all know if you pull a potato out of the ground, just run your finger over it, you'll peel all the skin off, right? If you're going to can the sweet potatoes, which is usually what most people do, you don't need to cure them. You can just take all the skin off. It's a lot easier when they're fresh. Take them up, cut them up, and do your canning deal. If you do cure them, then you got to boil the potatoes and peel the skin. Then you got to kind of undo the curing process. Country Boy 1968. Where else does the Vatican have money? I thought they kept all their money in the Vatican Bank. Are you kidding me? The Vatican's got money probably in every country in the world. Everywhere there's a Catholic church, the Vatican's got money, okay? Because, the, collection plate or whatever it is, yeah, some of that goes to pay for the Pope, okay? And, all the luxuries he lives in. I just saw something pop across, and let's see if I can. Well, now I got to go look for it. Hang on. Bear with me. I don't want to miss something. And there we go. Rydar Gronewald, thank you for the super sticker there. I do appreciate that. NOK. I know it's not North Korea. I'm going to take a guess that is, I don't know what, Finnish, Danish, Swedish? They're going to make me look. Norwegian krona. Okay, there we go. I at least got that part. I got Scandinavia. I got the right area of the world. All right. Thank you. Now let's see if I can get back all the way where I was and see what I didn't miss. Okay. John Zismont, what flavor am I puffing? I make my own juice. I did a video on this a year and a half ago about making my own juice, but this is what's in here? Butter pecan, hazelnut, Bavarian cream, and sweet cream mix. So it's got a very nutty flavor to it. That's what I'm doing right now. Bush Doctor Survival. Hey, buddy. What are my thoughts on the Baghdad violence? Again, this, I touched on it earlier. This is people fed up. This is where you're going to get, there's no food, inflation. I mean, yeah, inflation's hitting Iraq too. Food problems, whatever it is. I mean, Iraq's been a mess for 20 years, guys. We all know what we did going in there under false pretenses. But yeah, the people are just getting pissed off. They can't afford anything, food, whatever it would be. And, it's interesting when you get, who is fighting, in this, you get the Sunnis and the Shiites, and this is not crossing. This is the same faction of Islam fighting against their own faction. I mean, that's where it gets real crazy here. So this isn't religious. This is purely economic and political, and that's what you need to watch about. When we're pulling people out of our embassy, and the United States, has got to shoot off anti-missile missiles, like I talked about this morning, to avoid the embassy going down. I mean, this, thank God Hillary's not Secretary of State. Let's just put it that way. I'll keep it clean at least. Pighead Water Buffalo, need to cut Missouri in half at Columbia. Southern Missouri is nothing like the northern half. I mean, that's anywhere. I mean, I could say, everywhere around Nashville is, because Nashville's uber liberal. You get south of Knoxville, and you've got every progressive that lives down there, that drawn and quartered would be too good for them. When you're saying half of a state, that's, I can see Kansas City and St. Louis being liberal. If you're telling me it's North and south, that's a little different. I mean, around the cities, it's no surprise. The cities are going to burn. Okay, we all know that the cities will be the first thing to go. The liberals will eat themselves. Whoever's left is going to have to figure out how to get out and go to the next city to burn, because when it finally happens that way, there ain't a conservative in the world that would piss on a liberal that's on fire. So. Where would I put Arkansas in the Great Divide? That I think they'd probably, well, yeah, if you added, yeah, Missouri, Texas, maybe the Texas side, or maybe the southeast side here. I mean, one of the two, depends. Texas and Oklahoma is a lot of square mileage, so probably more for the southeast. Be with me in my fantasy world. Rooster, Pinball, someone had a chicken question. Have them ask again. Maybe I can help. So whoever asking about getting 3 hens and a rooster, tag the rooster in a comment, and you guys can get something going there. At least get your question answered. Sajak, the fuel surcharge on my electric bill was double what it was last year at $120. Bill was $487. God. I will be glad when I can turn the AC off and run the stove for heat. Vepco, the thieving rogues. Mrs. P and I were talking about that the other day. In the summertime when we're in Vegas, there's probably a couple of people here who live in Vegas. Our electric bill in our house on some of those real hot days would wind up $400 a month. I can't imagine what an electric bill is in Vegas right now, or at Phoenix, or Albuquerque, or anything like that, anywhere in the desert Southwest. I no idea, but Vegas especially, seeing how they got no freaking water in Lake Mead to generate electricity. Yeah, Chief Jim says, don't say work, they won't go. That's one thing I always get, this time of year. We're coming up on Labor Day, and every time I see a liberal on Labor Day, I'm like, don't you dare have a barbecue today. Don't you dare celebrate anything. You have to work to celebrate Labor Day, and you don't do that. Jennifer Suter, peanut butter beer. I'm not a fan of chocolate beer, so I probably not going to be, I don't know, peanut butter would be different, but yeah, they make some weird ones, but I just like beer. I mean, give me an IPA, give me a lager, give me a Hefeweizen, something like that. Give me a beer that tastes like beer, I'm okay. I don't want all this foo-foo crap, liberal beers. No, give me a man's beer. A Truck Campbell, thought on the ATF going to doors for FRT triggers. I did a video on this a couple of weeks ago. I even showed the video of then somebody had on their Ring doorbell of the cops going up there. Somebody rings your doorbell, it's a cop there. You do not open the door at all. Okay, you talk through the door, because as soon as you open the door, if they put a foot in the door and you try to close the door, now you can be charged with assault. All right, just so you know. They say, we have a warrant. Have them put the warrant up to the window of the door. Have them slide it under the door. Do something like that. You do not open the door until you have seen that warrant. Okay. They will lie to you. Yes, we have a warrant. I want to see it. You can't. Then you're not coming in. All right. You come in, I'm shooting you. You are now breaking and entering. You have asked for a warrant. You have a legal right to see that warrant. I did a whole video on this. Make sure you go watch that. But do not comply and do not open the door under any reason. Mimi's Barefoot Garden. Hops have a medicinal purposes too. Oh yeah, sure. I mean, literally everything that you can grow has a purpose medicinally, somehow, some way, or nutritionally, or whatever it would be. God wouldn't have put it here otherwise. There's probably a use for poison ivy. Just don't give it to me. Just doing our best. I loved your chemistry video on Rumble. We should test it on a house, a white one. Oh yeah, I want to show you this. You know what that is? That's about 50 jalapenos dried and ground up. Open that, take a sniff. I'm out for half an hour. That's what I was saying in one video today. You put something like this around, that little glass jar breaks, and this goes up in a dust cloud, which is exactly what it would do. I've just taken out an entire platoon. Get jalapeno dust in your eyes sometime. You know, and I've done this too. Don't wash your hands really well and go to the bathroom, guys. You will regret it for a long time. That could be a very, very good flavoring for food. It could be a very effective weapon out of your garden. Yeah, I came up with some of the wildest ideas, don't I? Rhonda Richter, hippie chick grows hops. There you go. John Fortwangler, there you go. I like that name. Tilt Lager from Pinball. That would be good. I like that. Dave Moran, watch out for October. I'm hearing bad things are coming. That's been my comment on the whole thing too. I don't think it's going to. They're pushing all this as fast as they can, throwing everything, like I said, baby out with the bathwater, to do it in October. Because if they can do it in October and Joe can declare martial law, now you have an election issue. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it's, again, strategize. If you know you are going to get your ass handed to you, you're gonna, 2,000 mules, okay? Do whatever you can to prevent it. What do you think they're going to try to do? Because they know they're going to get slaughtered in November. So let's see if we can stop it. We can't do the same thing we did last time. So we got to do it something different. And considering they want to disarm us, and they want to starve us out, and all the other things that they're doing in plain sight, but the media is gaslighting the American public, those of us with our eyes open see what's going on. Okay. Not saying that I think the most opportune time would be October. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen in January. Okay. But anybody that thinks we're going back to normal is too good a friend with Hunter. Okay. You know. One guilt-free. What's the best time to plant potatoes in the Southwest? I never grew potatoes when I was in Vegas. Okay, obviously we were in a subdivision. I didn't have a big enough garden for that. But I would say, because you don't want it too hot, but you don't want it too cold. Yeah, you're probably a good time now to plant. I'd say probably pretty good, because you're gonna, you should, or soon, you should be cooling off. When you get into the 80s and stuff like that, that's going to be, that's going to be the temperature potatoes are going to like. So, yeah, don't quote me on that one. I'd go look it up on Farmer's Almanac or something. Put in your zip code and see what they suggest. That would be the best way to do it. Okay, I'm kind of spitballing a little bit there, but. OU Kid, speaking of ponds, how was yours? Well, nothing's changed since Saturday. The guy wasn't here yesterday because we had rain, and I'm figuring he's probably trying to let it dry out a little bit before he comes back. I'm hoping, because if he decides that the 4 hours worth of work or whatever he put in and the half-ass that he got it done is it, he's wrong. Okay, so, again, if he wants to come back and fix it, great. If he doesn't do it quick, I'm going to get somebody else to fix it, and he's going to be in court. That's all it is. Marie 2024, empty their accounts first to equally distribute. That might shut them up. I'm assuming you're talking about the liberals, but yeah. Oh, okay. Grammy Lauren, that's got to be on the square pumpkins. Thank you so much. My grandkids will love me. Square vegetables are always kind of a novelty. You look at this, go, huh? It's not fake. It's real watermelon or pumpkin or cantaloupe or whatever you want to do. They're not going to come out perfect, obviously. It might not fill in the corner or anything like that, but you'll get the majority of it square. Carissa Cantwell, thank you for the Rumble video. Went to the Dollar Tree today for the needed cleaning supplies. There you go. One John Thompson, thank you for the super chat. Agree with shipping them to China. Yeah, it's fine. They want communism, go for it. Grandma Prepper 2022. Did I ever do anything or change anything about the weight of your preps on the floor? Yeah, Mrs. P went in there. Mrs. P working like crazy lately. She went in and rearranged a bunch of the shelves, took some of the canned goods and put it where I had more of the medicines and some of the other soft goods that didn't weigh as much, and she kind of shifted some of that around. Yes. Country Humans Grease Fan, I heard Truth Social will not be available on Android devices. How do we fix this? Is what I was talking about at the beginning with Google. Google being, hey, they're going to. Again, I go back to what I said the other day. Remember back in, it was either late 70s or early 80s when they broke up Ma Bell. Okay, AT&T was a monopoly. We couldn't have that anymore, and so you had the Southwestern Bell and Ameritech and all these companies, they spun off all the subsidiaries of AT&T into smaller phone companies. We need to do the same thing somehow with the internet because, again, this is what I said in a video the other day. Google and Apple are monopolies. There is no competition for them, and they can't be allowed to do that. If competition is not, if you can't have monopolies in the phone industry, why the hell can you have it in the internet industry, or the social media industry? Shouldn't be able to, right? But no, because the politicians in charge. I mean, remember, Trump talked about breaking up the tech companies. He wasn't wrong. There wasn't a whole lot of things. I mean, as a person, Trump made a lot of mistakes. As a businessman, the guy's got one of the sharpest minds out there. And I know there's always going to be some guy, well, he filed bankruptcy with 3 companies or whatever. Yes, he did, because those were smart business decisions. You don't throw good money after bad. If the thing isn't working, you stop. Then you take advantage of whatever you can and get out. Henry Ford filed bankruptcy. I mean, there's Thomas Edison, I believe, filed bankruptcy. Yeah, there's it's not the scarlet letter, guys. Kim Smith, Pinball. Walmart is raising food costs last quarter. Homestead Tessie has a family member at the corporate level. Not a big surprise there that food prices are going up. They're going to continue. Lurch, can you seed save from tomatoes that has late blight? If they've already ripened, yes. Okay, you need a ripe tomato. Got to be red. Don't try to save seeds from green tomatoes. You can try, right? Again, when you come to springtime, hopefully you've got other tomatoes that don't have blight, but when you're saving seeds, you're not going, well, I'm going to plant 6 tomatoes next year, so I'm going to save 6 seeds. Hopefully, hopefully you're saving an entire tomato. Should be enough. An entire tomato will have enough seeds for your garden for the next 10 years. But hopefully you're planting. If you want 6 plants, you're planting 10, and hoping to see what comes out. So. Never too old to learn. Hi, Pinball. How to cure sweet potatoes. I answered that about 15 minutes ago. Okay, you guys are talking about roosters and chickens. Angeline, Maine. My husband just traded 10 ounces of silver for a brand new wood stove. Tell your husband he's brilliant, okay? 10 ounces of silver is like $200, less than that. Brand new wood stove for $200. Yeah, you got one hell of a deal. Okay, Scrolling on through, and we're going to get shot to the bottom. Up we go again. Two Brothers Brewing has pinball beer. Okay, a bunch of you guys sent me emails. Okay, I see at least 2 emails there. Somebody sent me beer deals. Now it's my good old Budweiser Zero. Let's see. Shivo 061944 in Southern California just paid $600 for an electric bill with intermittent AC. That's just wrong. I mean, let's think about this. $15 minimum wage. Remember them screaming for the $15 minimum wage. You work a 40-hour work week. You made $600 before taxes. So you can't buy a house. They won't finance you for a house if your debt to income is, I think it's 30 or 35%. Your electric bill is 25%. Really? There's the let's go solar. It doesn't work. Okay. Jay Myers, peanut butter whiskey. I've actually had peanut butter whiskey. That's actually good. I've never had peanut butter beer. But peanut butter whiskey is good. Pete, the speech lady, 160,000 people without water in Jackson, Mississippi. I've got to think it's got something to do with all that flooding. Did something, the water main break or something like that? That's the only thing I can think it would be. I mean, they just got a boatload of rain. It's been raining every day there. But yeah, there's your perfect comment. 160,000 people without water, and it just rained. How much water you got stored? 6 gallons a day per person. Yeah, now, what is it? The 1 gallon a day or whatever it is. 1 gallon a day to drink. I kind of like to not stink. Kind of like to clean. That sort of stuff. Lady Hammer, when cured, sweet potatoes turn starches sweeter. That is the reason for curing. Okay. Kenneth Oliver, what about opening the door when you have a storm door locked? That's still fine. There's still a barrier that they can't come through. Okay. Like I said, just don't open the door and you can put a foot in there, because if you try to close the door, now they're going to arrest you for assault. Reaching Cold Mountain before you. I ran up my steps yesterday and said, no, sir, I will not come down to the sheriff. Yeah, that's it. No. Unless they have a warrant, you are under no obligation to ever talk to law enforcement or the military or the FBI, or if they have a warrant, you still aren't under any obligation to talk to them. I have the right to remain silent, your Fifth Amendment. They just now have a right to come into your house. That's it. Morning Light, how come Trump can't release the search warrant? I'm not a lawyer. I can't answer that one. I don't know. I heard something about it being a sealed warrant, or I'm like, what the hell is a sealed warrant? It's a fishing expedition. That's all it is. It's like, if they knew what they wanted and then a warrant only covered certain spots, it doesn't take 30 some odd people 9 hours to search a closet, an office, and Melania's underwear drawer. Poison ivy gas. There you go, with Truck Campbell. The only problem is it doesn't take effect for about 2 days. Marie 2024 Ghost Chili Beer. Mrs. P said that when we were making this, she's like, oh, could you mention we grew some ghost chilies and use that for defensive purposes? That would probably blind people. Fine. I'm going to butcher this name. Atelier Teal. Phoenix area summer electric bill typically double cooler weather. Depends on use. Mine usually is 50% higher at home most of the time. Just need to be smart and frugal. Yeah, my grandfather, this goes back years, my grandfather lived in Sun City back in the 70s, okay? And, before Phoenix was a monstrosity of a town, the original Sun City. And we had gone out one time. God, I must have been 12, something like that. And my brother and I went out to go play catch, toss a baseball back and forth. Well, of course, all the lawns were gravel, so we stood in the street. Yeah, you did that for about 5 minutes, and your feet got so hot because the asphalt was so hot it burned your feet right through your shoes. I remember that. Ed Kirkpatrick put that jalapeno in a shotgun shell. Yeah, my shotgun shells are going to do a little more damage than jalapenos, but yeah, that's a good delivery device. Let's put it that way. Holy crap! It's 5 to 9. It's amazing how time flies. Big Dog Mom stringing jalapenos to dry while canning beef stew. There you go. Tommy M saving hot pepper seeds this afternoon. Hands still burning. Yeah, I did the first few when I was slicing peppers out the other day, barehanded, and then I made the mistake of touching my eye. Not my eye, but over here, where I got a little poison ivy. I touched over here. Yeah. Poison ivy and jalapeno in your eye. I was out for at least 45 minutes with just couldn't, no, screaming pain. Not screaming, but pain. Trying to wash my eye out with milk. That's a lot of fun. Lieutenant Frank Drevin, homebrew gives you bigger beer muscles. I will have mine this weekend. It will be done. Actually, it will be done tomorrow. So, yeah. So I got it in time for birthday celebration. So, yeah, Saturday night I will have a homebrew beer. Let's see. The conservative Kentucky hillbilly. Will it get bad enough to eat our pets? Not for me. I'm sorry. I will protect my dogs with my life, just like they would protect me with theirs. Okay. There ain't nobody eating my dogs, and I'm not either. Okay. I just saw this one. Sandy Phillips. I have pepper spray made from excess Carolina Reaper and ghost peppers. I have to do it outside because it'll mess you up in a heartbeat. Oh my God. Yeah. Remind me never to come within 100 feet of you. I just don't want to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Heather Bray, what is 2,000 Mules? Go do a search. Just put in 2,000 Mules on YouTube. Do a search for it. You'll find out real fast. It's a movie. Let's see. Romy Davis says, I'm saying mid-September. That's great. What you're telling us is we got 2 weeks before the world blows up. I'm at least giving us a month. Already answered that one. Chris Servan, don't use arthritis cream and go to the bathroom. Okay, I never used arthritis cream, so I don't know, but I'm assuming it's probably something along the lines like icy hot or something. I've done that too. I torture my body. Robert Miller, question, did I see where Joe Potato said we need F-14s to fight him? Yeah, he said that about during the campaign, and then he said it again in his speech today, too. It's like, oh, you're going to need more than guns. You need an F-16 to do it. No, Joe, actually we don't. Okay? You trust me. The conservative population, the hillbillies out there, good luck finding us. Because just like the VC, when you least expect it, that's when you're done. But Joe, now, why are you building this $500,000 fence around your vacation home in Delaware? Are you afraid of something, Joe? Are you afraid of the illegals? Are you afraid of conservatives? Because, yeah, there's a list, and you're probably pretty high up on it. Florida Glitz, never had a problem with caterpillars eating my tomatoes, but today I found them. What can I do? Pick them off is the easiest thing, and then spray some BT on your tomato plants, and you'll be fine. BT is organic. Don't worry. You'll see it. It's called Caterpillar Killer, but look for the one that's specifically BT. I can't pronounce what BT stands for. Don't ask me to. But it's organic. It won't harm your vegetables like anything else. Wash your vegetables before eating them, but it's a caterpillar killer. Hector Prepper got lots of potatoes, but kind of small. What do I do next time? Here's the deal. You plant a big seed potato, you will get a lot of small potatoes. You plant a small potato, you will get not as many, but you will get bigger potatoes. Plant smaller seed potatoes, okay? Pieces. I've showed you guys before how you can cut potatoes in pieces. Use smaller seed potatoes, you'll get bigger potatoes. Bacon, Minneapolis, and St. Paul does not represent Greater Minnesota. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, that's where Ilhan Omar is, and she seems to be the voice of your state. All right, one more, and land that I love. Have you ever froze peppers? Yeah, I will make some green peppers. I'll freeze, cut them up into pieces, or I've frozen stuffed peppers or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, green peppers fine. I mean, jalapenos and stuff like that, no. But peppers, green peppers, I have done. I mean, jalapenos can probably be done. Everything. I wouldn't. Pepperoncini, probably not a good idea. What are you going to use it for? But I mean, if you're going to use it in soups and stews, yeah, chop it up, put it in the freezer, and you're good to go. All right, y'all. That is 9:01, and I'm tripping on Jason here. I apologize again. Have a good one. We'll see you in the morning. Pinball out.